So hey, don't know if you heard, but things aren't going so well for Scott Disick these days. It's basically because his drinking has gotten out of control again, and it's been causing his entire life to fall apart. For the past few months now, he's been going on insane benders, spending time with a wide variety of women and generally disappointing Kourtney Kardashian. Sometimes he'll straighten up a bit, enough to spend time with Kourtney and their children or to film for Keeping Up with the Kardashians. But sooner or later, and let's be real, it's always sooner, he finds himself back to some very hard partying. And it seems like Kourtney's reached a breaking point. According to a new report from Star, the eldest Kardashian is trying to convince Kris Jenner to fire Scott from Keeping Up with the Kardashians, or else. Kourtney told her mom she'll quit the show and ban her from the grandkids if she doesn't kick Scott off, a source claims. But that's not all. The source says that Kourtney also doesn't approve of Scott working on any spin-off shows, either. So she's apparently putting her foot down about Scott and Kris' planned real estate show. But unfortunately, things aren't as simple as Kourtney seems to think they are, because Kris really does consider Scott her son and thinks that he's just going through a phase. Yeah, we're going to have to go ahead and insist that a 34-year-old father of 3 drinking and partying so much that he's not allowed to see his kids is more than a phase. Still, Kris thinks it's important for Scott to work, and she's been insisting that she's just trying to help him with his issues. It's tough, because as we've seen on the show, Kris really does care for Scott, and she does consider him to be one of her children. But Kourtney is the one who had her heart broken by Scott, and she's the one who has to raise their kids on her own while Scott goes out and acts a mess. If she thinks that things are bad enough for him that she's considered requiring him to take a breathalyzer test before seeing his kids, it's understandable that she'd want her family to cut him off. Though we still have a hard time believing that Kourtney would actually go so far as to quit Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Stranger things have happened, we guess, for instance, that Bella Thorne debacle in Cannes. And it has been a while since we've seen Scott be as big a disaster as he is right now. So could this actually happen? Could Scott drive Kourtney off of her own family's show?